It was a bad night for New Wave Jiu-Jitsu. Did you think Nick Rodriguez did enough to get the win tonight? Hello, Jiu-Jitsu fans. It's Alex here, and WNO just wrapped up. I do have a flight to catch tomorrow, so I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. In this video, I will share the brief results of each match on the main card only. You guys can look at the prelims yourself, my submission of the night, my rating of FloGrappling's broadcast, and questions for the audience. Okay, so I'll start off with the question so that you guys can think about this throughout the video and leave a comment on what your opinion on this is. How big of a deal is greasing? Should we be stopping matches because someone complains that their opponent is too slippery? Felipe constantly saying that he needed a towel or some type of different complaint in slowing down the match, I thought was really distracting and not necessary. But I'm curious to know if there are high-level grapplers watching this video and they have had someone that has greased before. How much does it affect you guys, and do you think it's the type of thing that someone should be able to say, hey, we need to stop this entire match for someone to towel off? Second question, Felipe Pena's call out of Gordon Ryan after his big win. What will Gordon Ryan say about Pena staying in Costa Mesa for the week to wait for his stomach issues to subside? I personally don't think that they're going to have a match within another week, just because I don't know who would cover it, if FloGrappling would be able to stay and pay a bunch of people to have another broadcast a week later unannounced, but I'm interested to see if you guys will think it happened. So now on to the main card. Renee Souza, the buggy choke specialist and also the fan favorite of the Who's Next show, took on Kieran Kachuk, and everyone on the pre-show was going with Kieran Kachuk to win it. He's the number 3 ranked grappler with the best false reap in the game. That's just something that I took from the pre-show. So if someone disagrees with that comment, let me know who you think has the best reap in the game. But Renee Souza was basically losing the majority of the match. The two judge favoring moments both went to Kieran Kachuk, and it wasn't until Renee Souza ended up getting a knee bar, which also won him the $1,000 Tezo submission of the night, which is kind of funny because it's only $1,000. Like, hopefully we can get that a little bit higher, especially if there's only one, because there was also another submission on the main card. It was between the girls. Yeah, there was another submission on the card between Jasmine Rocha and Amanda Bruce, and this was a really exciting fight all the way through. The submission didn't happen until the last minute of the match, and it was a smothered choke from Jasmine Rocha, who then gets on the microphone and is just like, hopefully Andre Galvao can remember my name and not refer to me as Wagner Rocha's daughter. So putting a little bit of sass into that post-fight interview was 100% the perfect thing to do. They were the only female fighters on the card, so I thought having a submission put jiu-jitsu for girls in a good light, because you don't want to have a boring match when you're the only girl fight on the card. Oh, she also called out Luisa Montero. So Jasmine Rocha defeats Amanda Bruce by smother submission with about a minute left in the match. Oh, hello there. If you are enjoying this video, don't forget to hit a like. Yes, my house is still really dirty and I'm wearing the same exact outfit that I was wearing last night. All right, then we go on to Oliver Taza versus Jonathan Gracie. Yeah, this was just not a great night for New Wave Jiu-Jitsu. Gordon Ryan didn't compete. Oliver Taza lost by decision. Giancarlo Bodoni also lost by decision. And they were the favorites coming in. Oliver Taza taking on Jonathan Gracie, who was making his WNO debut. Taza started off strong, but was never able to get any of his leg entanglements going. And Gracie ended up taking his back at one point and was pretty dominant when it came to positioning. Oh yeah, this part just kind of bothered me because there was a bloody nose that happened, and I just thought it was so funny that they were stopping the fight, because as an MMA fan, I'm so used to blood being a thing. Taza was basically complaining that the gauze was not in his nose anymore. And I'm like, okay, bro, this bloody nose happened like 2 minutes ago. We can't keep going back to your bloody nose issue. Like, if we're gonna keep stopping the fight for every single little thing, for someone being too sweaty, for someone having a bloody nose, we're never gonna see whose cardio is better because we keep stopping every 2 seconds. But that's just my humble, irrelevant opinion. Then we go on to the welterweight match between Majid Haq out of Surf Fight, who literally comes out in a t-shirt and surf shorts, really fitting the Surf Fight look, going against two-time ADCC champ JT Torres out of Essential BJJ. JT Torres was basically just able to have a lot of heavy pressure and get the win by decision there. And that was also JT Torres's WNO debut. Oh, and at the very end of the match, he attacked an armbar, and it was the most interesting way I've ever seen someone defend the armbar. Dominant performance by JT, didn't get a submission or anything, but got that decision win. Then we go to the co-main event, which was for the light heavyweight title. The WNO light heavyweight title was on the line. Pedro Marinho from Gracie Baja defending it against the heavy favorite. Giancarlo Bodoni came in as the -465 favorite. Pedro Marinho had some really impressive foot sweeps. I'll put a picture of one of them, but everyone was assuming that Bodoni was gonna win because he just had a great performance at ADCC, becoming champ there. But Pedro Marinho defends his belt and gets the judge's decision on that one. Heavyweight main event, Nicky Rodriguez versus Felipe Pena. Within the first few minutes, Pena starts complaining about how Nicky Rodriguez is too slippery, and then they literally stop the match and have to towel off. Few little complaints happening throughout the match, and I'm like, dude, they're not going to stop this fucking match every time someone gets too sweaty, right? Like, that would completely kill the momentum of everything. The first judge's favor call went to Nicky Rodriguez, and then the second judge's favor went to Felipe. And then the tables kind of turned when Nicky Rodriguez got a nasty toe hold attempt at one point, but you couldn't really tell if it was super, super tight, and afterwards it didn't seem like Felipe was super injured by anything. But I know a lot of people on the post show said they would have given the win to Nicky Rodriguez, but the decision went to Felipe, and he ended up calling out Gordon Ryan, basically saying that he'd stay in Costa Mesa and wait for his stomach issues to subside. So yeah, he's saying that he would literally stay in Costa Mesa, fight him then, that his stomach issues should no longer be a thing. I know I have a few fans on here that actually have gastrointestinal issues, so if you have any insight on how long it takes to recover from those type of things, let me know, because I do not have that issue, but I don't know if it's something that Gordon would recover from in a week's time, and depending on the severity of the situation. But yeah, it was a great event. I thought the broadcast in general was really good. There was a few glitchy moments where the screen was like going, like I could tell it was a signal problem, not like from my Wi-Fi or anything, but from their broadcast. I thought the commentary booth was so good. I definitely think Kendall Roosing should be in the commentary booth the whole time. Like, all of her insight I thought was super helpful. I think it's because she also coaches and does, and she also keeps a very calm voice. The one guy who was keeping it really pumped and really exciting, I kind of just wish he would like keep his microphone a little bit farther from his mouth. But I think Kendall should definitely be in the booth the whole time and also do the post-fight interviews. I thought she was really good. I definitely think that they could have given out more than one submission of the night. I'm happy that Renee Souza got it because he had a nasty knee bar, but I also thought that the girls could have probably gotten a bonus as well, because I mean, it's only $1,000. Or you could just do one submission of the night and make it at least $5,000 so that people are more motivated to go for these submissions, and that we can grow the sport of jiu-jitsu because people will be more motivated to have exciting fights versus just settling for points and winning by position and yada, yada, yada. But yeah, tell me what you guys think about this last WNO event. I know one of the commentators said that this was the most exciting WNO event in history. This is actually the first WNO event I've watched. Because before I would just catch highlights because I didn't have FloGrappling on my own account, so it was hard for me to watch it live when I was sharing it with someone. Don't forget to comment what your opinion is on my two big questions. How big of a deal is greasing, and should we be stopping matches because someone complains that their opponent is too slippery or accuses them of greasing?
Long sleeve rash guard and spats, problem solved.
But because people want to show off their quads, duh, and their biceps and their forearms. What will Gordon Ryan say to Felipe's call out, and if he is willing to stay a week and take him on next Saturday, March 4th? Which also would be the same day as John Jones, so I don't think anyone will watch that instead. Anyways, that wraps it up. I got a flight to catch tomorrow, so there's not going to be a heavy edit on this, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video I made last night, and let me know your thoughts on this past WNO event.